Boom. All right. Well, we have a small, welcome to the DNN Ecosystem Advisory Group meeting for the Awareness Group. So for those of you that might be looking at this online and you're not aware of what this is our monthly meeting for the Awareness Group, and the Awareness Group is charged with increasing the awareness of what DNN is and what it can do, not just within our own ecosystem, but across other ecosystems as well to help grow the community. So we meet once a month just to see how things are going and see what we can do to help each other increase our activity and help others in the community increase their activity as well. So far, this month we have a light crew. We usually have twice this, so I'm not sure what's going on. So we got myself, Addison, Clint, Alessandra, Francisco, Jeremy, and Mark. Probably have a few more people to show up in a few minutes. Alrighty, so the agenda for today, it's one tiny change, but we're going to review our primary goals, and we're going to talk about DNN-CONNECT briefly, and we are going to see what progress we've had since our last. Who is viewer 14? All right, whenever viewer 14 comes in, it would be useful to know who that is. Let's see here. Set our goals for next month and review our long-term goals, and then open forum for anything else that we need to discuss. All righty. Viewer 14, are you on audio? Okay, if viewer 14 comes on audio, it'd be useful to know who you are. All right. So our individual goals. So our primary goals are really our individual goals. So we all need to champion or co-champion something. So basically participate in one of our focus areas. And you only need to do one. You don't need to do many unless you want to. But if we're going to see if we're going to see any progress, we have to participate, right? So that means doing at least 2 things a month. Oh. Mr. Poindexter, let's go ahead and update our list here. Here we go. So doing at least 2 things a month, and they don't have to be huge, they can be small. And I would like to think that attending this meeting is not one of those 2 things. That would be really nice if we could do that. And generating a snowball effect, because at the end of the day, we can't do everything, so we need to make sure that we're helping the rest of the community do these things as well. So as soon as we see something, we're like, hey, that'd be a great blog post. Hey, dude, why don't you write that? I'll get you in touch with Clint, or or whatever, or you found that thing. Why don't you tweet it, and I'll retweet it. Helping other people get get this kind of this snowball started. And then keeping in constant contact, not the software, but with each other. So making sure that we're constantly letting each other know what we need to do, and if we need help, and so on. Let's see here. We do have a new person this week, but I do not know if that's viewer 14. Hey, viewer 14, are you able to disclose who you are?
Hey, this is Jay. I think I might be 14. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's probably you then, because I don't see on the list. Welcome, Jay. Are you traveling?
I'm in the car. I'll be back in my office in a bit.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you haven't really missed much. All right. So DNN-CONNECT 2018. I know there was a little bit of that said on Addison's user group last night, the Tadog, as he says it. But does anybody want to give like a rundown for our group?
Sure, I'll be happy to.
Okay.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm on a different mic. Yeah, it was a really great conference. It's probably one of the best ever that I've ever been to in the DNN space. The content was incredible. A lot of great sessions on a wide range of topics, and the conversations and so forth that went on there were fantastic, and a lot of really good things that in light of the community and what our position is with the platform, and so that was really great. Generally a really great event. Unfortunately, it was a little bit, if you've been to previous event of DNN-CONNECT, it was a little bit more scattered, I would say, as far as the physical location where everybody was. So I think some of what would typically be a lot of people just sitting around and chatting and having a beer or whatever was not as it has been in the past. That was really the only drawback of the event. But one of the things that I will mention is that all of the sessions were professionally recorded, and even such that all the screen captures of what people were demoing and their slides and so forth is a part of that. And they are currently starting to be posted in the DNN-CONNECT YouTube channel. So I'll be posting those on some of the social channels as well, linking to those over the coming days, but really well done.
David, Ederson here. I would hope that you'd chime in that question as well.
I will. I literally just walked into the office. I just got back.
I just like bugging people, you know.
We know. That was a joke, just so you know. Addison's a little sensitive about spamming people. So is this the channel where everything's going?
It is. Yeah. So right now, Declan's going through, and there's nice bookends on these editing-wise, and Declan is going through and making sure all of them are edited and posted. So as he posts them, we'll try to get each one out. I mean, I'm telling you, there were some really great sessions. I'm not sure really what the driver of that was, but it just didn't seem normal. It was just a lot of great content. It was really hard to choose on the sessions of which ones to go to and so forth. So good news is if you missed a session or wasn't there at all, you'll have access to all of them. I think there were only a couple of sessions where there was a technical glitch, which it's usually the other way around. I think last year only 2 sessions got recorded out of all of them. So it's nice to see the reverse true. But we had a great team there doing the recordings.
Nice, very cool. And so this time it sounds like you may not have had any travel issues.
You know, if I did, I'm not telling anybody. We'll just put it this way. I got back and no luggage was lost. So that was quite the miracle in of itself going through Boston.
And you didn't get abandoned at the venue or anything like that?
Again, what happens in Ireland stays in Ireland.
All right, cool. Thanks for the rundown, David. Appreciate it. And thanks for attending.
You're welcome.
All right, so HOTCAKES Community Tools Review. Mr. Clint Patterson, is there any news on this? Besides, oh, actually, I have an update first. 1 second. I'm sorry. Forwarded the source to Jay. All right. So there's that update. I did forward the source to Jay as I promised, but I only did that yesterday because I forgot that I had promised to do that. So I apologize to everybody. I dropped the ball on that one. But Clint, do you have anything else besides that?
No, I just need to get the guy's Ben Zong. You may know him from in the past or whatever, but I just need to get him the link. Yes, that's an indirect way of saying that. I need to get him a link to the GitHub.
And so Jay had said over Slack that he'll try to look at this over the weekend. So maybe as soon as next week we might have more information, at least knowing what and how to proceed, or having an idea of that. Jay, is that still looking promising?
Yeah, this week I'll have some time to take a look at that, and we just kind of need to define some goals on what we want to do with it, so I know kind of what needs to be modified.
Okay, yeah. So let's hone in on those goals over the Slack channel then.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, Slack. There we go. Awesome. Cool. Moving right along. All right. So updates on the various areas. So these are the areas that we focus on. So for everybody that wants to participate. So the community dashboard. I'm just going to run through these real quick so we don't get disrupted throughout the rest of this. So anybody watching this video, the community dashboard, what we're going to end up doing is building a dashboard that gives community metrics or metrics about the community, both on the DNN site and off. And so that's what that HOTCAKES community tools review area was about. That's directly related to that. But the community dashboard will help us keep track of each other and the community in general to allow us to know if we're having progress and if we have any areas to address in terms of, maybe we're concerned about activity or whatnot, or maybe we shouldn't be participating in an area. We can't make any of those decisions without data. So this will help us also track our goals over periods of time, both for our group and other groups. Next is speaker program. So actually, but when we go through it down below, it's actually going to be in a different order. But anyway, next in this list is speaker program. So having a program available on the DNN software site where speakers can create a profile, maintain it, and solicit user groups to speak there, and vice versa, as well as having a repository of speaker materials. So having kind of like canned sessions that include abstracts and slide decks and whatnot. And then there's user group programs. So reviving the user group program that we once had that was once very, very thriving. So having the tooling for that. Increasing hashtag usage, or otherwise, AKA increasing social activity. Increasing blog activity, both across the DNN site and beyond. Increasing YouTube videos and tutorials. We as a community do a pretty good job of that, so I'm thinking our goals are pretty low on there, but we'll decide that at some other point. Creating at least one training course a quarter on any other venue, so any other website. And then making sure there's a certain number of new or updated extensions, open source extensions in the ecosystem. That's another area that we're trying to focus on. We have another area which is homepage, updating a homepage of DNNsoftware.com and updating the messaging across the site as well. And then creating curriculum to be used for various types of schools. And then theme creation. There's not enough great looking best practice examples of open source themes out there, so we need to increase the numbers of those. So those are those areas. So anybody that's in our group or outside our group, if you want to participate with us to help us in any one of these areas or more, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. And you can find me on Twitter at Will Stroll. All right, community dashboard. So here's the mission again. Here's our champions. This is kind of in limbo, so we kind of overlapped into this with the last update. So it's still kind of in limbo. I sent the source to Jay yesterday, and by the next meeting, we should be able to know what our plan is. Is that fair, Jay?
Yep, that should be fine.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else to add for the community dashboard? All right.
I don't have any.
Sounds good. Homepage messaging. So this is Jay again. This is kind of, we might need to make a decision on this in the near future because we're having trouble setting up a meeting. But to my knowledge, I don't think we've actually scheduled a meeting. We were tentatively going to have one in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think we kept trying to schedule something, and either I was out or Thompson was out, or so I think he's out this week, and we're trying to get something set up for next week. I think it's the latest.
Right. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have some more to report on that by the next meeting. Yeah, we're having some hit and miss there. All right, increasing social activity. I don't personally have an update on this. David usually updates on us on this. Is there anybody that has any updates or any activity that they'd like to highlight?
Yeah, I think Addison is doing a great job with the clip-episodes. I like that.
Oh, those are awesome. I was just sad that I couldn't participate in the last one.
There's always the next one, Will.
What is the next one so we can prepare?
Oh, do some research.
Okay, good. So most likely to be around upgrades.
Oh, I love that one. I seem to be the upgrade king these days.
I think we all feel that way, Will.
All right. Is there any other updates about social activity that we should be putting out there? I know there's been I know Facebook groups they tend to be very, very active these days. Twitter, I haven't really been keeping my eye on that so much. I don't know if there's any other channels that we should be discussing.
I've noticed the DNN Awareness account on Twitter has gotten a few more followers, but it's still not to where I thought it would be at this point. So is it still generally perceived as a good thing? Because maybe people aren't following it, they're just seeing the retweets.
Yeah. Okay. So we got one person missing. Unfortunately, Kelly hasn't been able to attend yet. She was ill the last meeting. That would have been her first meeting. It'd be nice if we can find somebody to kind of head this up, so that way we can have like an actual update of this is what's going on across the channels. So that's something that as a group we should maybe recruit for even. All right. Blogs. I have an update. I blogged yesterday. Did you?
No, but I am planning on dropping a pretty good one here either today or tomorrow.
I think we should give Francisco a shout out. He's continuing to translate blogs, and that is very well received.
Yes, and we already have blogs in Dutch by Ernst-Peter Taminga from Netherlands, who has followed my example.
That's right. So Will, at DNN-CONNECT, one of the question segments, EPT stood up and said, what do we have to do to blog? Can we blog in different languages? I'm like, I mean, just log in and post it. I mean, if you don't have access, let me know. So Francisco is inspiring others to post in different languages.
That's actually fantastic. And Francisco does such a great job at it. Whenever I go to one of his blogs that have been translated, Google wants to translate the entire page. Yeah. In slightly related news, but a side note, I'm doing very well in my Spanish class on my little app, Duolingo. It's been a fun adventure, relearning Espanol. All right. Any other updates about blogs? Oh, wait. David, didn't you have a cool blog? We should highlight that.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. It's not been posted yet, but it'll be posted. I'm literally just gotten back in the office about an hour ago, so I've got to get some imagery together. But that's funny the way you're writing that up. But yeah, it'll be posted either today or tomorrow, and would definitely love to see Francisco potentially translate that one as well. It'll be quite eye-opening for a lot of people, I believe.
It's going to be huge, and so whenever this does come out, please keep an eye on it. David, make sure you put it into the Slack channel so everybody can be aware of it, and please retweet this, reshare it, because this is really, really important to highlight how poorly, and not just the implementation, but also the perception of whether or not it is a security issue. And the other thing too is, as far as, since our job is about awareness of DNN, this blog is going to seem controversial to all the WordPress fans out there, all the fanboys and fangirls. And so this is going to get us a lot of attention for DNN if we can pound the drums and get the word out there that this blog exists. So this is going to be something that could be very beneficial for us as a community, not just for awareness of potential security issue, but also that DNN exists for people that haven't heard of it before. So please participate in that one when it goes out there.
Yeah, and just so you know, it's one of those blogs where, we've seen these blogs about WordPress versus DNN and so forth, but there's rarely any real concrete examples as to what supports that thought. And what this blog will do is expose very specific things that'll help you to make a decision when you're looking at both platforms.
And when we say very specific things, I mean very prominent websites out there.
And Will, I would just like to add to this portion of the meeting. I've found that a lot of the people in the community, will just use Mitchell Sellers for an example. They're like really busy. And if you tell them, hey, I will ghostwrite a blog for you, I will, frame it out and you can come in and just update, a couple technical portions or whatever, they're very receptive to that. So if there's anybody that's like listening to this or that's in this meeting who likes to write blogs but feel like, oh, well, I don't have, valuable content. Well, if you see somebody doing something awesome, then just reach out to them and say, hey, I will ghostwrite a blog for you. And, we'll post it as you, but I just need you to make sure these certain portions are correct. So I'm finding that people are open to that. And so if anybody else likes to write or wants to find an easy way to contribute, that's an idea.
It's not a bad idea at all. I mean, but like one of the things that I found over the years, like and I'm a horrible example because I've gone to the extreme. All right, and so there was a time where I was running 2 user groups, I was running a conference, I was running a consultancy, I had a day job, family, and at some point in there, like I actually slept or something. And so I find it interesting because when a blog post does not have to take all day. It could take 30 minutes. You don't have to make it huge. And it could be just a piece like, hey, this is a bigger thing, but here's one piece of it. So whenever it's something like this, that's why I'm asking only for 2 things. I don't think 2 things a month for everybody is too much. When it comes to something like, just do it. Like start to write it. Even if you don't think you can finish it, start it, right? Get something started because otherwise it just never gets done, right?
Yep, and I mean, in the case of Mitchell or somebody like David or yourself, like you guys are very busy, and there's info that you would like to communicate, you just don't have time to sit down and write it or post it, and doing that for you guys, A, is serving the community, but B, it's kind of lightening your load, and it conforms to the abundance mentality or open source ethos.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that anybody wants to bring up for blogs? Any cool blogs that you saw about DNN? Any other suggestions about how we can continue the growing the number of blogs out there?
I'm not sure if this is a good forum for this now. If it's not, just let me know. But whenever you guys are posting blogs on DNNsoftware.com, I know one of the practices I see is cross posting on either your personal blog or your company blog, things like that. I'm just curious, is that still considered a good thing or not? Because I know it's essentially duplicate content. So as far as awareness, I'm assuming that is a good thing. But as far as SEO goes, is there any considerations there that you guys have or best practices that you can share? And if we need to take that offline, that's fine.
I'll start with that. So when we originally relaunched the DNN site, which at this point was like 5 years ago or something, we had some concerns around that, and because at the time I was still working there, and I was working with, maybe it was 6 years ago, but I was working with Scott Willite, and we did a bunch of research on that because we had those concerns as well. I mean, the DNN site we already knew was going to take an SEO hit because of how things were going, but we were trying to make that as little of a hit as possible, and we found all kinds of resources for both sides of the argument. But the thing that really closed us is that Google was doing the same thing. The actual Google employees, right? Like people like Matt Cutts, I think is his name, right? Matt Cutts, something like that. They were doing the same thing. And we're like, well, if they're doing that, then it must not be bad, right? So that's the thing. That's the research we found. I don't know if anybody else has any other research that they'd like to share. I guess not. Well, open and closed book. So along those lines, should we be considering other like blogging platforms, like Medium, for example?
That's a great question. I was wondering about that myself.
I think we should. Maybe Clint. I mean, we got to fish in all the ponds, so to speak.
All right. So as a concerted effort, and it would be nice if somebody new was doing this as well. If you haven't posted a blog about DNN yet, maybe choose something like Medium and be your first one. And I did some work with Jeff Hardy for a while. And for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a very great writer that creates great content. So feel free to seek him out if you need somebody to do that for you. But he's written on Medium as well, and in helping consult with one of my clients who wanted to go there, I talked to him about it, and he's what some of the fears that people have are like, oh well, what if my grammar's not right? Use Grammarly, or what if something's not perfect, or I missed something in it. Those are things. And he was telling me, he's like, when it comes to blog articles, and especially in places like Medium, people are very I'm not sure if lenient's the word I want to use, but people are very receptive to that, and they're not worried about they generally don't nitpick. So he's like, don't be afraid to put stuff out there. You can always put out future articles and so on and so forth. So I think this is something we should focus on. And especially on a place like Medium, maybe we don't say, maybe it's not just like a DNN article, but it's something kind of related to DNN. You'd be like, here's all. Oh, actually, this might be great for you, David, for your next one. But hey, here's all this other stuff. And by the way, DNN doesn't do this, and this is why I choose this platform over that one, right? And maybe that's how it ends. But yeah, so I think as a group effort, we should be looking into that. And Medium's not the only one. But in about a year, Medium's probably gonna be oversaturated. So if we're gonna start there, let's just start soon.
Even something like how to go about choosing the right CMS for your project. And again, there might be hooks there to do back to DNN.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I'm glad you said that, because one of the things that I know people have concern over is like, I'm not going to blog about that. So and so already did that, or there's already one out there I know of that was written 5 years ago. If we all blogged, everybody in a group, I think we have like 37 people or something in our group right now. If all 37 people all blogged about the same thing, how this is why, or how I choose a CMS, it's going to be completely different content. And by the way, that's a good thing. So don't be afraid to blog about something somebody else already blogged about. And if somebody comes up to you and says, why'd you do that? Somebody else already did that. Send them my way. All right?
Well, I was thinking about something that, it's just my 2 cents there, just a thought that I had, and I said I'm gonna share with the group for consideration. A lot of what we do is producing content, either as blogs or on social, video, training, tutorials. So I thought about how about to help drive some, to help drive focus, help drive motivation. How about we pick the theme of the month? How about we do something? And I'll give an example. Right now I'm doing that with my business. So my theme this month is upgrades, is DNN upgrades. and every piece of content that I put out there will be about upgrades. But again, upgrades is just an example. It can be any particular topic that we could, as a group, focus content around that theme, and either as videos, as social blog posts. But again, just throwing out an idea there,
I absolutely love that idea. Does anybody else have any feedback on that one?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
That's brilliant. Wait, that's a new voice. Who's that?
Mark.
Oh, it's Mark. Oh, hey, Mark. By the way, in yesterday's blog post, you're one of the people that I put a shout out on. On the blog post where I announce the video being live for these meetings, I'm basically giving everybody some link back, some external links back to thank you for coming to the meeting. And so make sure you go to those blog posts when they get posted. If for no other reason, one, to share it, hopefully. But the other is to make sure that the link that I'm using is what you prefer. Because basically, for those of you that don't know what your website is or your preferred website, I just Googled you and put the best link I found for you. So, like for Mark, for example, is Let It Shine Biz, I think it is, something like that.
That's right. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Anything else on blogs? All right. This is some good stuff this week. Too bad most of the groups isn't here. That's messed up. All right. YouTube videos and tutorials. So, Addison, you're the last one to talk. Maybe you should go next.
Okay, so I guess I can share.
And he's gone. Hello?
Sorry, I forgot to click here. So as I was saying to myself, just talking to myself here, there were about, I think, 2 or 3 questions that became videos there. So that was published in the last month.
Did everybody else just leave them as well?
Yeah, I can't hear him in again.
Guys,
Yeah.
for some reason, it's I'm getting muted. Clint, is that you, Clint? Muting myself?
I wish. It's Canadian filter.
I'm getting muted all the time. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna talk until I get muted again. So
Just doing it.
Will's messing with
Will, are you messing me up?
No. I am absolutely not. See, my mouse is right here. It's not anywhere near the control panel. It's up top.
Okay, I'm gonna try again here, but I don't know how far this will go. So yeah, so what is that? 3 questions, and then a few tips. I had about, I think, 3 tips of the week. And again, now I'm monitoring now. So now I think that the big one, most of my effort video-wise this past month was around the conversion from Evoke to DNN. So
You mean
what is that?
You mean platform?
Yes.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I put it's an hour and a half long series of 14 videos there, going step by step through all the ordeal that I have gone through. We have gone through to do a conversion like that.
Nice. Is that going to be on YouTube or is that going to be a DNN Hero?
It's already there. There is. I can share the link right now. There is it's all open. There's a playlist that goes from top to bottom with the entire process there with scripts and everything.
That is epic. I subscribe. I don't know about you guys, but I subscribe to this guy called Addison Oliveira. So I just can click on him. Oh wait, he's on my list. Why haven't I
explain what DNN is?
You can't be talking twice. All right, playlist.
Was not subscribed.
Yeah, but how's he in my subscription list if it was not subscribed already? That was messed up. See, he's right there.
Oh, you know what? It might be. It's not. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. I'm going to make this public. Is that there?
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't have its own playlist. It's just uploaded.
No, the playlist is there, but maybe it's not.
Well, for now, I'll just put your DNN Hero link in here.
I'm gonna make this a playlist. Actually, it is a playlist. I don't know why it's not live, but I'm gonna get the playlist. I'm gonna get the playlist URL.
That is epic. And if this was even a year ago, it wouldn't be great for you.
Oh, really? No, would I be getting some sort of?
You might be getting a letter, kind of like some of the rest of us have. But these days, not a big deal.
He's talking, but he's been muted, so.
So that's the playlist. That's the playlist that I just put there on the chat.
That is epic. All right. On that note, I don't think anybody can top what Adderson did, but I'll let you. Has any of the other updates for YouTube? or it doesn't even have to be just YouTube. I mean, there's other mediums as well. We're talking about videos in general.
That was a mic drop moment, so no.
All right, moving on. We don't have an official champion for new and updated extensions, but you know we probably should. Over the past month, I think since the last meeting, it might have been just before the previous meeting, HOTCAKES Commerce had another release, so 3.2 was pushed out there. Oh wait, doing that wrong. I don't think I have anything else to add, but I am helping. Like I also helped with the SQL View Pro, so I fixed a bug for them. That was for version 5.0. And what else? Anything else I did?
Yeah, nice work on that, Will. That was good.
It was an interesting bug. Anybody have any other updates about open source extensions you've seen, or anything that we can do to help increase the number of them?
I will say that the adoption rate for NV Quick Theme is increasing quite a bit. We had a good success at DNN-CONNECT, getting some people onboarded, and now people are kind of seeing the light of what this is. And I think Adderson also recently launched a few videos on utilizing it, so that's helping the awareness of it as well. I think people are realizing how valuable of a tool that can be for developing custom themes.
Awesome. I need to take some time to decide to play with that. Along those lines, began using Matt Rutledge's. What was that thing that the module template thing, David, that you turned me on to?
Yeah, it's a DNN generator.
Yeoman.
Or generator DNN. It's a Yeoman generator for staffing out modules for DNN.
That is my new favorite thing. It is amazing. Couple command lines, boom, you got a whole module template out there that, for the most part, follows exactly the way I like to build modules. Love it, love it, love it. I even forked it because there's a few things that I think I want to do that's specific to my company, so I highly recommend it. Oh, and David put a link to it in the chat, so yeah. Here it is right here. Yeah, so it's fantastic. And I'm not trying to out anybody, because it's very popular template generator that's out there, that when I was trying to use it, in creating and selecting the module templates and waiting for it to load up, for some reason it kind of locked up Visual Studio a little bit. And in the time that it took for me to figure out how to use Matt Rutledge's tool that he has here and install all the prerequisites and test what it does in another directory, and then finally go put it into my solution, and all that time, the other tool that I shall not name still didn't finish. I don't know what was wrong with it, but yeah, so it was fantastic. So Matt Rutledge, if you're out there watching this video, you rock.
Yeah, I think for right now it just supports the MVC fully, but he's working on the other. Oh, he does SPA already too? Okay, good. And I think he was going to try to do some work as well to kind of integrate the theme stuff from MV Quick Theme on that to try to kind of give a tool to scout out anything real quick.
Yeah, I think, let me go back to the page. I think he might already have support for that. So there's generators in here. Persona bar SPA theme. Yeah, he has a theme one in here. So yeah, MVC SPA or something.
Yeah, but last I checked, the only one that was fully functional was MVC.
You might be right.
Hey, you check the SPA one there. I don't think that one was ready quite yet. Oh, no, that was ready. Okay, good deal. Yeah, that's great.
Very cool. Yeah, so this is brilliant. Basically, for those of you that aren't familiar with this, once you install the prerequisites, you go to the directory you want, you run the, actually, that's to install this. You go to the directory you want, and you basically run 3 command lines. Boom, you're ready to go. Just open your solution. It's fantastic. And I like how you say, yo, DNN. All right. So new updated extension. So that's a fantastic contribution to the community. I love it. It's my new favorite thing. All right, curriculum. I don't think we've had any traction on this at all. I think the biggest problem for this is we need a leader. Anybody have any? Well, Lucas, I know you're doing something in your own area. Do you have any updates on what you're doing on your own? Wait, is he here today? Oh, he's at every meeting. I just assumed he was here. Never mind. All right, moving on. Training courses. Tracy's not here. I know Tracy and his team are doing a training course. No updates. Team not here, really. Unless David, David D? Who the heck is David D? David, have you secretly been building a training course that we don't know about?
No.
Okay. Moving on to themes. Tracy's, his team has been working on this. The last we heard, they were getting close to releasing a handful of themes. And Waldo's not here, but I'm not surprised because it's sleeping time for him right now. Although he has been at previous meetings. Let's see here. Speaker program. Joe has been running this, and we're having a meeting soon. He's not able to attend today, but Joe's taken over as the champion for this, and he's already had some traction on it in our Slack channel. So thank you, Joe Craig. User group program. I'm still looking for somebody to champion this, and just to reiterate, I've done a lot of work on this already with David. So we both put together a plan of features. We've already wireframed the whole thing. It just at this point needs to be built. So we're just looking for somebody to champion this. And the person that builds it, or the people that build it, they don't necessarily need to be in this group, but if somebody in this group can help lead that charge, that'd be great. So I'm just looking for somebody to pick up where we left off. Any ideas on that before I move on?
Hey, will that ultimately live in the DNN community repo on GitHub, or are you thinking something else? Does it really matter?
I mean, it technically doesn't matter, but it would be best for the community if it lived under the DNN community GitHub account.
And did we ever decide really which pattern we would probably go for? Probably SPA, I'm assuming, or?
I think at this point, judging by the last clipisode I saw related to this topic, we should probably choose MVC with SPA on top of it. Thanks, Addison.
There you go. Well, I can certainly help get the repo set up and get it started that way, but I'm just not sure how much time I'll be able to contribute to coding over the next few weeks.
I can't type. All right. So who has direct access to the DNN community repo? Because I do not believe I do.
I think we should be able to get that through. I'm not. Hey, Clint, was that something that Mitch was working on as well, or is that kind of outside of the scope of the platform stuff?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I know he's working on getting access to GitHub, but I mean like the core platform, but I'm not sure.
Well, I can work with Ash directly, I suppose, and get that repo set up. We did that with the archives, so it shouldn't be a problem. If we have a name that we want to go with, or a preferred name, then let me know on that. Otherwise, I'll throw a few out there and get some feedback in Slack.
Let's make it a group effort in Slack.
Sounds great.
Wait, which one's I put on? David and below. There we go. Perfect. All right. The next steps, determine the name. Oops. Repo name. Oh. Slack. Shite. What was the other thing we just said? Repo name in Slack. There's something else. Shoot. Oh, create the repo in GitHub. All right. All right, monthly goals. We're for the most part, we're kind of killing this, although we don't have really a way to track the extensions. But it seems like there's enough updates out there. Well, in terms of our goal, I think our goal is a little bit low, but we're definitely killing it with the blogs with our original goal. YouTube videos are killing it. So my question to you guys, and especially as we're looking at our long-term goals, is this enough? Anybody? Bueller?
Marco?
Is this enough?
Polo?
So, David, you're the last one to speak, so I'm guessing you put everybody to sleep.
You are welcome.
Everybody's using Adderson's mic. All right. To that end, we have 5 more minutes in the meeting, so we're going to move on to the open forum. And so we'll have 2 parts of this. We'll have the part that's still in the recording, and if there's anything we need to discuss offline, we'll stop the recording and discuss those things after that. So anything that we need to discuss, like additional details, ideas, information, areas that we need to focus on, areas that we shouldn't be focusing on, ways to recruit our group and group leaders, things like that. Anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to own the putting them to sleep. I think you did that all by yourself there, Will.
Only in this section. Let me check. Let's see if everybody's still here. All right. Everybody's still here. The meeting didn't end.
Yeah, this is Jeremy. I just want to make sure you know I'm contributing to the silence.
You know what? That's a new form of participation I did not anticipate. Thank you, Jeremy.
I expect points for that. So
I'm not sure how to measure it, but maybe we can figure something out. All right.
Oh, that's a great question, Clint. Clint was asking about is there any update on the DNN Awards, John Ballard?
Oh, yeah. He hasn't been around in a while. That's a great question. I haven't seen anything, and in the Slack channel, I know at some point somebody asked the exact same question. I don't know if it was Clint, but somebody did, and I don't think he came back on that. I think he's running incognito at the moment. So yeah, that's definitely something that if that came out, that'd be really cool. We could try to push that. And I'm not sure everybody knows what that is. So help give more illustration if I don't get this right, please. But John Ballard, and I think we covered this a little bit in a previous meeting, but he created a DNN Awards proposed like website, and he had like mock-ups for it and everything to where people could submit, contributions and basically get votes to have an award. What that award is, I don't think we determined, but it was very well done. So
I just checked out the site and looked at the entries. It looks like people have actually entered it.
Oh, that got released. I didn't know it got released.
But I think all of that's just him putting in placeholders. Honestly, it looks like it was all foremost media. So.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure what the weight on this is. Probably just a matter of determining when we'd launch the contest, right?
Yeah. Does anybody know how to get a hold of John outside of Slack?
I mean, I've got his email address. I could probably send him an email and inquire that way, direct.
Yeah, that'd be great if you can. Say, yo, DNN, and it build a module on his email. All right. Anything else we need to discuss? Going once? Going twice? Sold. I'm stopping the recording. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Thank you for watching. And if you want to participate, we would very much welcome your participation. And we'll see you again next month. And we're going to stop recording. Thank you.